Howdy do. All right, so don't you miss the days where you could just take a game and pop it in and just play? You didn't have to worry about making separate accounts or making accounts at all and DLC or whatever. You could just buy a game, pop it in, and you had access to the whole game. I know, good times. In proving Sony learned nothing from Helldivers 2 debacle, the 9 Realms of God of War Ragnarok PC release remain locked to players without PSN accounts. But why though? After nearly 2 years of PlayStation 5 exclusivity, God of War Ragnarok has finally been released for the PC. But in proving that Sony has learned nothing from their previous Helldivers 2 controversy, the game's arrival on Steam has been marred by the fact that it requires players to sign into a PlayStation Network account in order to play it. Why? Why? For those, the PSN is a digital service allowing players to access Sony features online, download video games. Did they ever think that maybe people don't want to use those features, that they just want to play the game? Because the saving, that's done with Steam. So why would we care about making a PSN account? And to download video games, you're already on a site that allows you to download video games. Why would someone who already has an account on Steam create yet another account to do the very same thing that they can do on Steam? But John, there are different games. There's some games on the PS5 and you can't get it. I'm pretty sure that those people don't care. And for people who don't have like a PS5, say these people already have a PS5, it's like they already have the PS5 to use. So, they already have a PS5. So if they want to play something not on PC, they already have the ability to do so. But say it's like me, I don't have a PS5. Maybe I just want to download a game on Steam and just, why should I have to go through having to set up an entire account just to access the game? That's stupid. Sony uses PSN to combine its console and PC ecosystems, but unfortunately, the service is not available in over 100 countries. So it's extremely limiting to a lot of potential customers, thus rendering God of War Ragnarok's 9 realms locked away from a large number of potential players. Yeah. Yeah. Why? Why? The PSN account requirement is not a new frustration for PC players who want to get their hands on PlayStation titles, as seen most notably with Helldivers 2. When the Sony produced game launched earlier this year, it did so without a PSN login requirement. As a result, seeing massive success and breaking records for concurrent players' numbers. Imagine that. I guess that's what happens when players have access to the game. Who would have thought? However, when Sony implemented a PSN login requirement for PC users a few months later, it caused a sharp decline in the game's player base, particularly in regions where PSN is not supported. You don't say. Realizing they lost a huge chunk of a multiplayer shooter player base, Arrowhead Studios, the developer behind Helldivers 2, and Sony eventually decided to remove the mandatory login requirement for the game, in doing so restoring some goodwill to both them and among the community. So why would you go back to doing that very same thing, knowing it's going to cause backlash, knowing that there's some countries who can't friggin' use it? Like, what is Sony doing? What is Sony, are you trying to lose money? Are you trying to lose money? Because this is how you lose money. By limiting something behind it's essentially a paywall. You don't have to pay for it, but you still have to, it's like a paywall. It's like, oh, well, you pay for this, and then you have access to that. In this case, it's You set up an account, and then you can play your game. Despite the fact that having the account and services has it doesn't have any impact on the game whatsoever. So why should a person have to do, especially again, you already have a Steam account. You already got that. It's already saved on Steam. Your saves and everything are on Steam. Why should a person have to go make an entirely new account for PSN just to use features that or to have features they're not going to use? As a result of this unnecessary requirement, Ragnarök has already faced review bombing on Steam. It's not review bombing if it's legitimate concerns. With players unhappy that they are locked out of experiencing one of Sony's most celebrated titles. All in all, while it's a welcome move to have Sony allowing PC ports of their exclusive games, requiring players to log into a PSN play them feels like nothing more than the latest move in a grudge match between themselves and the PC platform's main operating system provider, Windows, with players being used as nothing more than pawns. Until Sony not only addresses the PSN requirement for God of War Ragnarök, but its existence altogether, it's likely the community will continue to criticize Sony's strategy by forcing players to interact with their own PlayStation ecosystem. Yeah. Again, not everyone wants to have 50 separate accounts. You know, if I have a Steam account, I don't want to make another account just to play the game. If it's on Steam, I expect to be able to just play it. I don't expect to have certain things locked away because well, if you want to play the game in its entirety, you're going to have to set up an account. You're going to have to do it. Again, what happened to the days of just buying a game and being able to play it? No accounts, no DLC, no nothing. You just got the game, you played it. Sony used to be like that. Now cue the how many times do we have to teach you this lesson, old man? I love the young people. They did learn something. No game will ever be released without a PSN required. Not sure why Steam players want to waste their time with mockery of the God of War game. Normally, not aware of SBI. Most of them also don't notice subtle messages throughout the games. But yeah, just completely ridiculous. The fact that again, the fact that it's 100 countries where they don't have the ability to access that. You're eliminating an entire country. And not only that, 100 of them because it's not available there. So again, Sony, what are you doing? If you're in a business of not making money anymore, you're doing a hell of a good job. You're great fucking job, guys. Even Kratos is like, what the hell is this shit? Some people don't learn. You know, if they've already had a situation like this where it was huge backlash, and then they're like, okay, well you don't have to have the end thing anymore. But then it's like, well, let's try sneaking it in again. What could possibly go wrong? The same thing as last time, idiots. You're facing the same backlash as last time. So, do you not have, the intelligence to see that this would happen again? Which one of you were sitting there thinking, oh yeah, you want to know what would be a great idea? It didn't work last time, but I guarantee it's going to work this time. Let's require a PSN to play the game. They can purchase it and they can get in, but without the PSN, they can't access the whole game. My God, great idea. Sure, it didn't work for us before, but it'll definitely work this time. At some point, they'll just have to go along with it, right? They'll just not complain about it, and they'll just make an account, and they'll just do it. Yeah, great idea. Let's do that. Let's do put into an effect a plan, a strategy we had last time that didn't work out. Who's here for losing money? I am. Are they going to fix the 100 country problem? I mean, is it something with the countries themselves that don't allow it, or? But Sony, Sony. I just Sony. You used to be so respected. What happened? Now you're becoming a joke. Becoming a freaking joke. Anyway, what do you guys think? Are you gonna play God, Ragnarok on Steam, and if you are you going to set up a PSN account, or are you just gonna wait for all it to blow over and for them to say, you know what, we've decided in all our wisdom to remove that requirement from the game because we want the players who enjoy the game, and yeah, so you're gonna just wait it out. Let me know. But yeah, that's gonna do it for me. You guys know the drill. I'll see you guys later. Bye, guys.